Imagine waking up to a world where the United States no longer holds its global influence.
Could it happen? And how would it begin?
The answer lies with these 10 countries. If they decide to walk away, the US might just face a collapse like never before. The United States' position as a global superpower depends on a complex network of alliances, trade relationships, and strategic partnerships. In this video, we'll explore 10 countries that play a critical role in supporting America's economy, military influence, and global standing. Each country brings unique contributions, and losing their support could spell disaster for the US. Stay until the end to learn about the one country whose departure would have the most devastating impact.
Number 10.
Mexico shares a long and strategically important border with the United States, making it a vital partner in trade, security, and cultural exchange. It is the US's second-largest trading partner, with bilateral trade surpassing $661 billion in 2023. Essential agricultural products like avocados, tomatoes, and peppers largely come from Mexico, supporting the U.S. food supply. Over 12 million Mexicans live in the U.S., fostering deep cultural ties. Mexico's manufacturing industries supply critical components to American companies, particularly in the automotive and electronic sectors. The USMCA agreement has strengthened economic ties between the two nations, benefiting millions of workers. Mexico also provides a significant labor force that supports U.S. agriculture, construction, and service industries. Additionally, the border is a hub for tourism, generating billions in revenue annually. On security, both nations collaborate to combat drug trafficking and illegal immigration. Losing Mexico's support could lead to severe disruptions in supply chains and increased costs for essential goods. It would also create significant challenges in border management and security operations. A breakdown in relations could destabilize regional economies and impact millions of families on both sides. The loss of Mexico as a partner would be a severe blow to the U.S.'s economy and its ability to maintain border stability.
Number 9.
Japan is a critical ally of the U.S. in the Asia-Pacific region, known for its technological advancements and economic strength. The country is a global leader in semiconductors, robotics, and automotive technologies, supplying cutting-edge innovations to the U.S. annually. Trade between the two nations exceeds $230 billion, with Japan being a top importer of American agricultural products. Japanese companies like Toyota, Sony, and Panasonic have invested heavily in the U.S., creating thousands of jobs. Japan's partnership is also crucial for maintaining balance in the region against growing Chinese influence. The U.S.-Japan military alliance ensures security in the Pacific, with American bases in Japan playing a key role in regional defense. Joint military exercises enhance preparedness and demonstrate strength against threats like North Korea. Japan's expertise in renewable energy technologies is increasingly valuable for the U.S. in combating climate change. Beyond economics and defense, cultural exchange through media, education, and tourism has enriched ties. If Japan were to sever relations, the U.S. would face significant economic losses and geopolitical vulnerabilities. Technology industries would suffer due to disruptions in the supply of essential components. The power balance in the Asia-Pacific region could shift, benefiting rival nations like China and Russia. Losing Japan's partnership would diminish the U.S.'s ability to project power and innovation globally.
Number 8.
Saudi Arabia is a key player in the global energy market and a crucial ally of the United States in the Middle East. The kingdom is the largest exporter of crude oil, supplying 6% of U.S. oil imports and stabilizing global energy markets. Its leadership role in OPEC influences global oil prices, directly impacting the U.S. economy. The two nations share a security partnership, with billions invested in American military technology to bolster Saudi defenses. U.S. military bases in Saudi Arabia serve as critical hubs for regional operations. The kingdom's counterterrorism efforts, often in coordination with the U.S., contribute to global security. Beyond energy and security, Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 reforms aim to diversify its economy, creating opportunities for U.S. businesses. American companies play a significant role in Saudi infrastructure projects, including renewable energy initiatives. Despite ideological differences, both nations share a mutual interest in containing Iranian influence in the region. Cultural exchanges, although limited, have been growing, fostering better understanding between their peoples. Losing Saudi Arabia as an ally would disrupt global energy supplies and send oil prices soaring. The U.S.'s influence in the Middle East would significantly weaken, emboldening adversaries like Iran. It would also impact American industries reliant on Saudi investments and contracts. Without Saudi support, the U.S. would face challenges maintaining its economic and geopolitical interests in the region.
Number 7.
Germany stands as a cornerstone of U.S. relations in Europe, playing a vital role in trade, security, and diplomacy. As the largest economy in the European Union, Germany is a critical trading partner, with bilateral trade worth over $200 billion annually. The country exports high-quality machinery, vehicles, and pharmaceuticals to the U.S., while importing American aircraft and technology. Germany hosts key NATO military bases, including the U.S. Army's European Command in Stuttgart. This partnership ensures rapid response capabilities across Europe and beyond. Germany's leadership in the EU is essential for maintaining Western unity, especially in dealing with Russia and China. The country's renewable energy advancements align with U.S. goals to combat climate change. German investments in American industries create thousands of jobs and strengthen economic ties. Both nations collaborate on research in fields like artificial intelligence and biotechnology. Cultural ties, including education and tourism, enrich the relationship and foster mutual understanding. If Germany were to withdraw its support, NATO would lose a critical anchor in Europe. Trade disruptions would impact industries on both sides, particularly automotive and pharmaceuticals. The US's influence in Europe would diminish, giving more room for adversaries to expand their reach. Losing Germany as an ally would destabilize transatlantic relations and weaken the global standing of both nations. Number 6. India is a rapidly growing economic and geopolitical powerhouse, making it a crucial partner for the United States. With a GDP exceeding $3.7 trillion, it is one of the fastest-growing major economies globally. Trade between the two nations has reached over $190 billion, encompassing technology, pharmaceuticals, and defense. India's IT and software services play a pivotal role in supporting American industries. The two countries collaborate extensively in defense, with India being a significant buyer of U.S. military technology. India's strategic location in South Asia makes it a key ally in countering Chinese influence and maintaining security in the Indo-Pacific. Both nations have deep cultural ties, with over 4 million Indian Americans contributing to U.S. society. Educational exchange programs see thousands of Indian students studying in the U.S. annually. India's focus on renewable energy aligns with U.S. climate goals, fostering collaboration on solar and wind energy initiatives. As the world's largest democracy, India shares a commitment to democratic values and global stability. If India were to walk away, the U.S. would face challenges in maintaining its influence in Asia. Trade disruptions would harm key industries, including technology and pharmaceuticals. The loss of India's partnership would significantly weaken efforts to counterbalance China's growing power. It would also undermine global democratic alliances and hinder progress on climate goals.
Number 5.
South Korea is a critical U.S. ally, renowned for its technological innovations and strategic location. Trade between the two nations exceeds $170 billion, with South Korea being a major supplier of semiconductors, electronics, and automobiles. Companies like Samsung and Hyundai have strong ties to the U.S., driving economic growth and innovation. South Korea is home to key U.S. military bases, essential for maintaining stability on the Korean peninsula. The two nations regularly collaborate on defense strategies to counter North Korean threats. South Korea's advanced technology and research sectors are integral to U.S. industries, particularly in 5G and artificial intelligence. Cultural ties are also significant, with K-pop, Korean dramas, and cuisine gaining immense popularity in the U.S. Educational exchanges strengthen the bond between the younger generations of both countries. South Korea's commitment to renewable energy complements U.S. efforts to combat climate change. A breakdown in relations would disrupt critical technology supply chains, impacting industries like electronics and automotive. It would also weaken the U.S.'s strategic presence in East Asia, emboldening adversaries such as North Korea and China. The loss of South Korea's partnership would result in economic and geopolitical setbacks, diminishing the U.S.'s ability to lead in the region.
Number 4.
Canada and the United States share the longest undefended border in the world, making them deeply interconnected allies. Bilateral trade between the two countries exceeds $800 billion annually, with Canada being the largest trading partner of the U.S. The energy sector is crucial, as Canada supplies over 50% of U.S. crude oil imports. Canada's abundant natural resources, including timber and minerals, are essential for American industries. The two nations collaborate closely on security through agreements like NORAD, ensuring mutual protection. Canada is also a significant partner in addressing climate change, focusing on clean energy and environmental sustainability. Tourism between the two countries boosts economies on both sides of the border. Cultural and familial ties run deep, with millions of citizens frequently crossing the border for work and leisure. Losing Canada's support would disrupt energy supplies and raise costs for U.S. consumers. It would also weaken the shared defense mechanisms that have ensured regional security for decades. Trade losses would heavily impact industries ranging from agriculture to manufacturing. A breakdown in relations would destabilize North America and weaken both nations' positions on the global stage.
Number 3.
The United Kingdom has been a close ally of the United States for centuries, sharing deep economic, cultural, and military ties. Bilateral trade between the two nations is valued at over $260 billion annually, covering sectors like finance, technology, and pharmaceuticals. The UK is a key partner in intelligence sharing through the Five Eyes Alliance, enhancing global security. The two nations collaborate extensively in defense, with joint military operations and shared nuclear capabilities. London serves as a global financial hub, benefiting American businesses and investments. The cultural bond between the US and the UK is evident through shared language, media, and education. Over 1 million Americans visit the UK annually, strengthening tourism and mutual understanding. The UK's support for US foreign policy often amplifies American influence globally. Losing the UK's partnership would disrupt global financial markets and weaken collective security efforts. It would also reduce the US's diplomatic leverage on issues like climate change and international trade. Without the UK, the US would face challenges in maintaining its global leadership and historical alliances.
Number 2.
Despite being a competitor, China is a crucial economic partner of the United States. Bilateral trade exceeds $700 billion, with China being the largest supplier of consumer goods to the US. American companies rely on Chinese manufacturing for cost-effective production. China also holds over $800 billion in US Treasury securities, stabilizing the American economy. The two nations collaborate on global challenges like climate change and public health. Educational exchanges see thousands of Chinese students studying in the US, contributing to cultural understanding and innovation. Losing China's partnership would disrupt global supply chains, leading to increased costs for American consumers. The technology industry would face severe setbacks due to the loss of critical components and rare earth minerals. A breakdown in relations could also destabilize global financial markets and hinder progress on international issues. The absence of cooperation with China would significantly weaken the US's ability to address global challenges effectively.
Number 1.
The European Union, as a collective, is one of the US's largest trading and strategic partners. Bilateral trade between the US and the EU exceeds $1 trillion annually, covering industries like aviation, technology, and pharmaceuticals. The EU is a key partner in addressing global issues like climate change, human rights, and economic stability. Shared values of democracy and freedom underpin this partnership. EU investments in the US create millions of jobs, strengthening the American economy. Cultural exchanges, including tourism and education, foster mutual understanding and collaboration. The EU's support amplifies US influence in international institutions like the UN and WTO. Losing the EU as a partner would disrupt global trade and weaken transatlantic security efforts. The absence of EU cooperation would embolden rival nations and reduce the US's ability to address global challenges. Without the EU, the US would face significant economic and geopolitical challenges, diminishing its global leadership. These 10 countries are the lifelines of America's global dominance. Their support spans trade, security, technology, and energy. But as the world shifts, so do alliances. What if one day, these nations decide to walk away? The question is not just hypothetical, it's a warning. A reminder that even the strongest nations are only as powerful as their partnerships. If you found this analysis eye-opening, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more deep dives into global politics and economics. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below. Which country do you think the US can't afford to lose?